All she had to do was nothing. TL. Dear, I quit a job I otherwise adore to escape a toxic manager. Coworkers reorganized the chain of command to get me to stay. Manager ended up demoted. Context. Names and some details changed for privacy. I'm on mobile, etc. Players me equals me. NB31. But I'm not out at work. Manager equals Lady Catherine. F60s. Managing partner equals Bennett. M50s. My partner equals Gardner. M47. Partner I'm babysitting equals Bingley. M44. My friend, coworker equals Charlotte. F30s. I am a professional attorney wrangler for a big legal firm. If you've watched Suits, I'm Donna if she was wound tighter than a child's music box. As a legal admin, I have to keep a tremendous amount of information straight. Every county in every U.S. state has their own court system, their own rules, and their own idiosyncrasies. I have 5 attorneys on my team. Despite the TV shows, it's pretty unusual for a lawyer to have a special secretary all their own unless they are very important. So 5 is a solid number. Because of the nameless death that took over the world last year, a secretary that left in January 2020 has not been replaced yet. And I've been babysitting one of the partners, Bingley. In the meantime, it's been a fun learning opportunity, as Bingley works for an entirely different region and type of law than the rest of my team. Also, he has a case where a truck exploded, was empty, which is awesome. Story. My manager, Lady Catherine, is the worst. You know the type. She plays favorites. Her best loved word is no. She must be involved in every conversation because she is just that important and necessary. We don't get along, because I am a stubborn know-it-all who's been proven right a few too many times. Highlights include forbidding me from using the same resources other admins had access to on her orders, including backup admins when my workload was too big, and then denying my overtime requests. I literally had no way to do my job some days. It's worth noting that the reason Bingley's secretary left was specifically because of Lady Catherine. In fact, 4 additional admins quit over the year explicitly because of her. Anyway, at this point, I'd been working with Bingley for almost a year. It was November 2020, and we'd settled into a pretty good routine. I'd gotten used to filing pleadings in a different state, and no longer needed to double-check all my work for nuance. Because law still operates in the Stone Ages, a few U.S. states still require hard copy filing. Anything we want the judge to read has to be sent by actual mail, on actual paper, to arrive in the judge's actual hands. It's a pain. Most states let you file electronically. But whatever. Bingley mostly only has cases in one of the hard copy states. Lady Catherine, in her excessive wisdom, butted in uninvited and instructed me to include a cover letter when mailing a new filing. This confused me, as I had been filing for almost a year and no one, including the admin who originally trained me, had mentioned a cover letter. I told her this, and she basically told me to suck it up. I called the court admin to make sure I wasn't crazy and that I hadn't ruined a year's worth of filings. And the court admin literally laughed and said to please not include a cover letter ever. So I didn't. Imagine my surprise when Lady Catherine called me, writing me up for insubordination, even knowing the court rules and the judge and the court admin explicitly said to not send a damn letter. She was right because she is always right and I am. And I quote, a disrespectful little shit, and she was tired of me. A warning went into my employee file, pending disciplinary measures. The next day, she emailed my team telling them to reduce my score on my yearly review. as she knew I had been rated too highly for what my abilities really are. It felt to me like she was preparing to fire me by creating a history of poor performance. Well, if you're so tired of me, Madam Manager, I can leave. Within a week of looking, I found a new position. Now, here's the issue: I fucking love my team. This is the best work team I've ever been on. We take each other seriously and we genuinely love each other. A lot of times admins get pushed around because we don't have fancy degrees. But not here. Calling in to quit. I cried. I cried a lot. I cried to the point that one of the partners, Bennett, asked if I wanted a counteroffer. I said no, because that wouldn't solve anything. He asked what I meant. I told him. I told him about the write-up. I told him how she was trying to falsify my employee review after it had been submitted. I told him the reason 5 admins had left. I told him about how I wasn't allowed to ask for help. At this point I had given myself hiccups from weeping. And one of the partners on my team, Gardner, was calling him asking if he and his workload were the reasons I was leaving. So Bennett let me go do other things, like day drink and create a shrine out of legal forms. I thought it was the end of it, until a friend in another office, Charlotte, called me asking WTF I was doing. She doesn't have time to train someone into being the new me. And I was the only admin she actually trusts in my office, so why was I leaving her all alone? I told her, and she told Gardner, and together they plotted. First, Charlotte is the manager in her office, so she is on equal footing with Lady Catherine. They also report to the same person. Charlotte called the district manager and told him that Lady Catherine was driving admins away and that the most recent quitter, me, was the only person who knows how to do a lot of the work on my teams. And my loss was a serious blow. Apparently this is true, which is both heartwarming and terrifying. Meanwhile, Gardner called up a fellow partner and told her that his world would collapse in on itself if I left. He would go to the nearest bridge and jump off it, which would be pretty impressive in a landlocked state. They had to do something. I got a call the next day from Bennett, saying they had a counteroffer they were really hoping I'd take. Basically, instead of Lady Catherine, I would report directly to Gardner. Lady Catherine would be forbidden from interfering with me without first asking Gardner for his permission. This solved the issue and I got to stay with my team. So I happily accepted. I thought the debacle was over. The debacle was not over. Unbeknownst to me, after looking at the evidence, exit interviews, emails, memos, Bennett put Lady Catherine on a performance improvement plan and she did not get an end-of-year bonus or raise. Turns out I had been absolutely correct. Lady Catherine's behavior and treatment had been the explicit cause that 6 secretaries quit in less than a year. I got a call last week from Charlotte. I figured she wanted to gossip about coworkers or rant about how a shared client is a big ol' headache. But it was actually to give me a heads up. Lady Catherine had been stripped of her management duties. I no longer had any contact with her, which was great. But it also meant I didn't see that her behavior had actually doubled down on the admins. Unfortunate enough to still be under her thumb. She had missed every single one of the benchmarks on her performance improvement plan. Charlotte had called me to ask my opinion on who should be the new manager, as I know everyone, and she was helping cover some things as an outside manager. Now, I know some of you are thinking, yes, become the manager and fire Lady Catherine. But I am not a sadist. I want to stay on my team and do what I do best, which is being a cheerfully annoying, respectful little shit. I told her one of the more senior admins would probably need some guidance, but would be amazing at it. No one has to deal with Lady Catherine anymore. She is now a mere paralegal and not anyone's manager at all. If she had just left me alone and not interfered where she wasn't needed, none of this would have happened. All she had to do was nothing. Edited for clarity. I have sold software to law firms for over 25 years. There are lots of rules of thumb. Let the lawyer be the smartest one in the room. Drinks are on me, etc. But there is one that is carved in stone. You do not mess with Donna, whatever her or his name actually is. While I appreciated the revenge, I appreciated more the recasting of these people as Pride and Prejudice characters. Naming her Lady Catherine, a stroke of genius. The jump off the bridge in a landlocked state had me rolling. No clue whose revenge this technically is, but this is fantastically written. That was a great tale. Definitely pro-revenge. Though you were mainly the catalyst. Looks like the Automod might be taking down your post because you're new. Would you like for me to repost it on your behalf? A great example of a person who is indispensable through excellent work. Taking action. By changing jobs. And making it crystal clear why the problem occurred. Even if you were only the catalyst. I'm happy that you got to stay with your team. I have worked in a law firm before and absolutely can back up the claim that there are certain people who, if lost, would be a major blow, and that is certainly terrifying. You have an amazing team if they were willing to go to bat for you, and that sort of happiness is worth a lot. I just want to say that someone like you is super appreciated, as it made the jobs of the rest of us, incompetent people and bumbling associates, that much easier and made us look good. While some Catherines may not appreciate it, may your world be more filled with the Charlottes who do. I swear by all that is holy. I worked there. The ages aren't the same. But I worked an interim job for about 15 months as an admin at a law firm. Lady Catherine sounds, except for the age, exactly like my nemesis. I quit because of her. Thank heavens I got a fantastic job in my own industry, and that allowed me to quit and move up in the world. But I would have taken a sizable cut in pay to have escaped from that twisted little psycho bitch from hell. There were a lot of other Lady Catherines and Lady Catherine JRs at my firm though. But the other admins were wonderful and helped me keep my sanity. Great revenge. I also loved the use of the Pride and Prejudice character names, lol. I don't care whether this is pro-revenge or not. It was so much fun to read. You should do installments for us. Your husband was mistaken. This is pro-revenge. So you were right and you were right. People don't quit jobs. They quit people. It sounds like the rest of your office. Aside from Lady Catherine. Both greatly respected and appreciated your work. And they had your back. That's awesome. That's the kind of place you stay. Great job. Getting fired is definitely pro. Grats on the raise. Are the shades of the law office to be thus polluted? All she had to do was nothing. As a manager, that's all you have to do a lot of time. You trained them good, right? You gave them the tools to do the job, right? You're going to be around to provide guidance if needed, right? Then give them the job and leave them the fuck alone to go do it. AFAW. Assigned female at work. Are there no bridges in landlocked state? Bridges usually require rivers, not seas. You have no rivers? I love this. But I can't figure out why they didn't fire her after all that. Demotion was unnecessarily kind of them. Lovely story, and great writing style, too. You get updates from all my Reddit accounts. I don't understand the point of demoting someone who has acted this way. Just fire them. They're not going to magically right themselves in a lower position. They'll just take it out on new people. Why keep someone like that around?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.